Check, check, sound check. It's working. Oh my goodness, that was such a royal pain. Let me get everything straightened out. Thank you for your patience. Man, that was some of the worst issues I've ever had in my life, and certainly any that I've had in a long time. How's my hair? I had my headphones on, so it's all screwed up now. And I might have to get up for a second to let animals out that got into the other room when I was looking for stuff. Let's see. Okay. Let's let everyone know back on. I think with sound this time. And what else? I'll just give it a second for people to find the live. I apologize, you guys. If it's not one thing, it's your mother. That's my Freudian saying. And I didn't make it up. Let me see if I can take that out. And just, oh, good. Somebody's here. Everything's fine. It looks like there's sound. I have so much to chat with you guys about tonight. But I do. Oh, Anna Bees. Hi, Jazz and everyone. Is everything fine with the sound and the lights, camera, action? Thank you kindly for your patience, my dear. It's so frustrating. There's sound. That was so annoying. Well, I couldn't find my mic, and that was ridiculous because it was in an easy place to find it. But that's what happens with me. If I move anything and, I just like put it in a place like on the other side of the room from where I usually put it. And it's like right out in the open. So I wasn't thinking that I'd forget or not see it. But that's exactly what happened. I forgot and I couldn't see it. I want to get up and see if the pets are locked in the room next door. 1 second. I apologize. And there's so much to talk about. OMG. If I can even get up. There we go. Okay. 1 second. I'm still here. Come here, baby. Come here, cheese ball. Come on. Cheese. Come on. You got to come in here. Come on. You can't be unsupervised. You are not trustworthy, my doggy. Like she was scratching like she was stuck in a room, but I think she was just trying to like rip up the carpet. Here she comes. Here she comes, crashing in as usual. Oh, my dear. She is so goofy. Okay. So how are you tonight, my dear? Let's just get settled in for a second. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, and learn something and be educational. And all my videos are made for the tube of you and me. And it's an infotainment platform. Anna Bees, I could literally just cry. And it has nothing to do with my technical difficulties. This case with this Ashley Flynn, I have been like sick to my stomach. It's only about half an hour from where I live. And I went by her home today. Her husband was arrested last night, just like I thought he would be. And I went by her house. There were a couple of cops there. And I just stopped to put flowers and a card on the front yard. There was only one other person that had done that so far. My guess is that people didn't want to do that. Like everything was kind of on hold for the last few days. It happened Monday morning. Valentine's Day was Saturday. I think something happened on Valentine's Day. And then the middle of the night, Sunday night. It's the worst story in the world, Anna Bees. It's like ChrisWatts 2.0. And I knew it right away. Like as soon as I started to hear about this case, I was like, this guy, Caleb Flynn, what a piece of crap. And I'm going to try to be careful with my words. I want to be respectful to Ashley's family. Of course, the integrity of the case. Of course. this is another case. I will go to the effing trial. And this is another case that's really getting me going with wanting to fight domestic violence. Like, I put in an application for a full-time job with a domestic violence counseling center. And, that's always been a type of job that I wasn't so sure I could handle. I still don't know that I could, but I'm really motivated to try. So there's another position that I just saw open that I'm going to apply for too. The only thing is, if I'm working full time, and then how do I do my YouTubing? But I'll figure it out. I always want to focus on the positive, and even in this most disgusting time of trauma and terror for her and her family, I really believe that this case, like Gabby Petito's and like Shanann Watts and like the Tepe case in Columbus, I think that Ashley Flynn's case is going to wash the freaking stigma away. There's no way you could look at this woman and do what people have been doing for decades. Well, why is she staying with him? She had no idea. No idea. And even for women that do have an idea, this is why they stay, because they're afraid that if they try to leave, not only are they afraid, sometimes they're threatened, and they're told, like, if you ever leave me, my dad said that to my mom, I will smear your blood all over the streets of Washington, D.C., I think was something to that effect when they got a divorce. Oh, the threat was if she tried to get custody of the two girls. I will smear your blood up and down the streets of Washington, D.C. I think that's the quote. And she just said, fine. She was just trying to get out of that marriage with her own life. And this is a lot of my own trauma with my mom, who I completely forgive. She was just so naive. She didn't think that he would ever direct that ire towards the kids. And I can see why she thought that. He was a very nurturing father. He was very hands-on, like ChrisWatts. Oh, so gross. Let me read your comments, honeypot. You're not a honeypot, but you know what I mean. There is sound. I do that too. She's so cute. I know. She's the sweetest little baby girl. And I need her. I need my puppy dogs. I'm tired, but there was something interesting last night. A male coworker who was MAGA told me he's been reading the Trumpstein files and he is totally disgusted and he wants it all to burn. Awesome, Anna Bees. I think it's burning. I think it's burning. It's Friday night. There's been many Fridays where I've been like, there's no way Trumpster fire is going to survive through the weekend. And, he's burning down his own house. I mean, he's losing his crap. And he also makes me sick, like literally makes me ill to look at him, to listen to him. He's the most disgusting piece of crap imaginable. And yeah, we'll talk about that too. Those files and Les Wex, OMG. Now I can start saying his name, I think, because everybody's talking about him. What is that sound? What are you doing, doggy? Did you go under the chair? I think the dogs are like under the chair tearing up the wall or the carpet or something. I don't know. Come on, give me a break. And let me do my thing, please. Yeah, he really is disgusting. Missed the story. What happened? So what happened with Ashley Flynn, or what happened with Bigley Pigley? I think you're saying what happened with Bigley Pigley. We can start there for a minute, I guess. Tip City is like MAGA. Why does it sound like my dog is in my wall? Come on, dog, get out of there. I think she's under my chair. and like scratching at the wall or something. But that's why I got up, was because I thought there was an animal trapped in the room on the other side of this wall, which is my yoga studio. Oh, I think she crawled up in my chair, like she's inside the bottom of the chair. I might have to flip the chair over. I'll just let her try to, I don't know. Oh my goodness, I don't want her to get hurt in there. Holy crap. So I was doing a live last night, and there was a huge storm going on, and I didn't even know it was a storm. I was like, what are those sounds outside? Airplanes flying by. Like right now, you might be able to hear one of the cats is right outside the window, like banging on the screen. It's like a zoo in here. Okay, I think the dog is okay. Come here, baby. Come on out. Come on out. Oh my goodness. Little cheese ball. Come on out. Come on. Oh, come here. Come here. Come on. Are you stuck? Are you stuck? Come here, honey. Everybody needs to see that you're safe. You are such a nut and a half. Oh. Yes, Ashley. Okay, good. Because I don't want to talk about the effing Trumpster fire. He's trying to burn down the whole world. Okay, so Ashley. Ashley Flynn, 37 years old. Her birthday is in 4 days, I think. I want to say her birthday is the 24th of February. But like I said, this was 2 days after Valentine's Day. And he texted his girlfriend at 12:42 and said it's almost done. And then I don't know what time he chloroformed the kids, which is like what Casey Anthony allegedly did to Kaylee Anthony. And then he shot his wife in the head twice. I'm going to play you the 911. I spoke with one of the cops that was parked in front of the house today. That was nice. You know, it's like, it's hard because I don't want to get personally involved in these cases. And at the same time, you know, domestic violence, like we all need to fight domestic violence. It's hideous. So let me play for you the 911 call. It is the most annoying, horrific, stupid. This guy is such an effing fool. It's about a 7-minute call. Let's see if you'll be able to hear it.
Oh my God. Miami County 911. Oh my God. Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and they got my wife. Are they still in there? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, what's the address? 932 Cunningham Court in Sydney, Ohio. Please hurry. Please hurry. What are you seeing? My wife is, she got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to stop it and interject. He says, my wife, she's had 2 shots to her head. Remember, like with the Tepe case, when Spencer's friend was looking at his deceased remains and there was the red stuff everywhere, and he didn't even know that Spencer had been shot. Okay, he said, you know, that he's like laying partially off the bed, there's blood everywhere, I think he's deceased. And you don't know that somebody's been shot because it's usually like through their clothes or in their hair. I mean, you might know if it's like right in the forehead, like right in front, but you're not going to know how many times either. Because even if you can see how many holes you can see, you don't know if those are entrance wounds, exit wounds, and you don't know if there's other shots that you can't see. So he gave himself away right at the beginning. And I think this dispatcher is on to him. I mean, I don't think I'm giving him too much credit. I think he is freaking on to his scene.
Oh my God. Hey, ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
And if you caught that, he said, ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath. Kind of reminds me of Barry Morphew when he's like, is that her bike? You know, when he goes and catches up with the police outside of, just right outside of the area of where their home is, where he ditched her bike.
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here. Where's she at? She's in the bed. She's in the bed. Are you with her? I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please. Okay, do you guys have the door locked? We have the door to the garage locked. Into the house. Yes. Please. Where's that room out in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay? What question? Where are you guys at in the house?
He is a terrible actor. Here, I'm going to fix my bad hair with my bad hat if I can. I can't. I should just give up on everything. 1 second. Let me set my phone down because I got my ponytail too high. So I got to lower my dumb ponytail. And then I was going to put my hair in a bun, but then I was like, no, I'll put it in a high ponytail, you know, like Nicole Kessinger. So people in Tip City are comparing his girlfriend to Nicole Kessinger, and her photo has been on a lot of YouTube channels. Her name, she's sang with him in the church choir, but we'll get to that stuff in a second.
I'm in the bedroom with her right now. Okay. My daughters are in their room. So you are not with the children? I was with the children when it happened.
You are not with the children? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? Your wife just got shot. You say there's a burglar in the house and you're not with your effing kids? This guy is on to this mofo, but he thinks he's talking to a woman the entire conversation.
Okay, but you're not with them now? No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Sir, please. They are heading that way, okay? I need you to take a deep breath for me. Are you hearing anything? No, I rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering. Okay, your daughter's not answering you?
So he thinks he's talking about the child. And see, he doesn't want anyone to know that he's chloroformed the kids. He's trying to pretend like he thinks the kids are sleeping. This disgusting piece of crap. So he was hoping that the police would come and they would take care of everything and just let the kids sleep. Like, that's how stupid he is. He thought he was going to be free of his entire family. So gross. In my opinion.
What do you say? Your daughter's not answering you? No, they're across the room. Okay. In their room. Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house? No, her face is, sir, her face is white. Okay, whose face? My wife's face. Your wife's face? The one who was shot. She was what?
Yes, the one who was shot. His story is so flimsy. The dispatcher is just like, what the F are you saying? He can't even keep his story straight for the 911 call.
What? Shot, I said. Okay, where was he shot at? In the head. I hope there's everywhere. Okay, is she breathing? I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, no, she's not. Okay, she's not responding to you? No. Oh my God. Okay, do you see anybody in the house now?
This man, if we can call him that, this monster, is the son of a pastor, and he's had a job at his church as a youth ministries music director for 16 years at the same church. He was hired there in 2010, I'm pretty sure. And he, I think, probably got fired recently because everybody knew he was having an affair with this 23-year-old allegedly.
It's black and the doors are locked. The door to leaving to the garage door was wide open when I ran in there. Okay, do you see any kind of vehicles? No. Wait, no, the door, there's a side door and a garage door that's open by the, oh my God. Okay, I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay? They're getting to you as quick as they can. Is that door still open? Yes, it is. Okay.
So he thinks that there's someone in the house and he left the garage door open. I don't know. If it was me, I might close the garage door hoping that they're outside of the house. But anyway, after we're done with this, I will also play for you the 2-minute arraignment hearing that he did just as good of a performance in. OMG.
What do I do?
Granny Annie!
Is she breathing at all? I don't think
And
if you are comfortable.
Last night when I was talking about this case on my live, I was like, nobody knows anything about this case. It's hardly on any YouTube channels. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. And then he was arrested last night, and now it's all over the freaking YouTube channels, which is good, which is really good. But yeah. What was I going to say? I don't even know. Hey, Granny Annie, lovely to see you, my dear. Yes, we're so happy that you're here. So this is a case that is about half an hour from where I live. This town in Ohio called Tip City, 10,000 people. It is a very small town, very tight-knit, very, very, very conservative right wing. And this is just the most horrific thing. And I went to the home today to put flowers on the front yard, and only one other person had so far. I'm hoping that there'll be a nice collection of flowers there. I just think it's something nice for the family to see when they have to return to the scene of the crime to take care of stuff. Nice for them to know that people really care.
I want you to go and find a cloth, and I want you to put a cloth on that gunshot wound, okay? Like a towel? Yes, like a towel, but do not apply direct pressure to it. Just put it on that blood wound, okay? Okay.
Now, I love that he's instructing this scumbag to touch the corpse of his wife that he just unalived, you know, like she can start haunting him instantly. Imagine how freaked out he is. He's such a douchebag. Granny Annie, this guy is like ChrisWatts 2.0.
I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay? Okay. Just get that cloth, and I want you to put it on that wound, but don't apply direct pressure to it, okay? They're coming to you as quick as they can, okay? I just laid it on her head. Okay. Where are the juveniles? Are they okay? Have you checked on them? I haven't checked on them. Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me? The police is here.
I haven't checked on the juveniles. So, Annie, this is the 911 call from just this past Monday morning at 2 a.m. And he had just texted his girlfriend a couple hours early, and the text said, the last text, because they were texting up a storm, the last text said it's almost done. And then a couple hours later, he calls 911, and this is the 911 call.
Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
He doesn't want to check on the juveniles because he's poisoned them with chloroform. So he's like, well, they're just asleep in the other room. They're fine. Let's not worry about them. Mofo.
Okay, I need you to go check on the juveniles for me, okay? They're still sleeping. They're still sleeping. Okay, you still see them breathing? You don't see any wounds?
They're still sleeping. They're still sleeping. So it makes me think again about the ChrisWatts case. I've always suspected that he chloroformed those girls. I think a lot of people have. And he probably did. Because I don't think there'd be any evidence of that after dropping him into the oil. And they know that they had respiratory arrest, basically, is what caused them to cease being alive. Yes, listen to this, some other show this afternoon. Yeah, so they just released the 911 call today. They just arrested him last night. And then they did the arraignment hearing today. And I'll play that next. So we're almost done with this. Sick people get divorced. Broke is better than prison. Granny Annie, this is what my father tried to do to us. You know, me and my sister. He tried to poison us with the carbon monoxide when I was 11 and she was just turned 14. These two girls are 9 and 11. And it just brings it all back. And I'm just like, man, I've been working on this for my whole life. This is why I'm a therapist. And I still can't understand how anybody can do something like this for real. I really can't, even though I was there and I knew somebody and I was right on the inside track. It's just so sick.
No, the cop just told me. Sir.
And the faking. So until he was arrested last night, he was probably consoling his girls. Like, I don't know if they were hospitalized. He was hospitalized, actually. So that's probably how they kept him away from the girls. I think they put him in a psychiatric hold. But I don't think he actually was free from the time he made this 911 call, basically. I think he was in a psychiatric hold until they arrested him last night. Yeah. So the girls are gone too? No, they survived, honey. They survived.
The cop is here. Okay, I want you to... Okay, open the door for him so he can get into her, okay?
He's
coming to me.
He's trying to stall get into the girls because he wants them to be completely gone. So he's not doing what the guy says. The guy's like, check on the girls before you do anything. And he's not cooperating. So he's like, well, just let the damn police in, mofo. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too, Annabees. I don't feel like I am today, but you know, I am. I'm doing well.
I don't know. The door to the garage door was wide open. I'm her husband.
He's still delaying checking on those kids. He's like stalling with the police, talking about the effing garage door.
No, I don't think so. Hey, ma'am, do you still have me on the phone here?
Do you hear he's saying, ma'am? He's been on the phone with him for 6 minutes. He still thinks he's talking to a woman because this guy is such a, let's just say, tussie. Such a tussie.
I went and there was a door all the way to the right. That one's open. Behind it.
And they live in the nicest little neighborhood. It's not fancy, but it's just like perfect. Just like the American dream, kind of perfect. And some of the houses are fancy. I mean, they have a 3-car garage. That's the American dream. My guess is he was after the insurance money too, because like I said, I'm pretty sure he got fired from the church since everybody knew he was boinking his I don't know if she was his assistant, maybe. This is about all. Okay. Okay, let's play that 2-minute here it is. It's 3 minutes. Caleb Flynn appears in court, and he's just as big of a piece of crap. Probably drugs and alcohol too.
The way that my house no longer smells like stinky dog and ranch chips,
I never knew is my guess. So, sorry about the ad. There we go.
You may be seated. All right. This is case 26 CRA 285, Caleb C. Flynn. Mr. Flynn, you have several charges here. Count 1 is a murder charge, is a count felony of the first degree. Count 2 is 2 and 3 are both felonious assault charges, second degree felonies. Count 4 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. That's count 4. Count 5 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. Mr. Fulford?
Your Honor, Mr. Flynn Tender pleads not guilty and would ask for this matter to be scheduled for a preliminary hearing. Mr. Flynn is residing in Tip City. He doesn't own a commercial flooring company. He has not probation community control. He has no.
Okay. It is just mind-boggling. Can you hear the anger in the judge's voice? It sounds to me like he just wants to beat the tar out of this guy, and it escalates. It gets even worse, in my opinion.
Mr. Flynn, we're going to set your case for a preliminary hearing for next week on February 26th at 1 p.m. You do have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, you can apply to the public defender's office, and they'll determine if you're eligible for a court-appointed attorney. Do you understand all that?
Yes, sir.
He almost said, "Do you understand all that, mofo?"
Anything you'd like to say to the court with regards to the bond in this case?
I'm so sorry you cut out there.
Is there anything you'd like to tell the court with respect to bond in this case?
I don't really understand that. So
okay, so the court has to establish a bond, sir, to ensure that
he's about to try to use his daughters that he tried to snuff out as pawns to get out of jail free. Hold on.
Your appearance, okay? So the court will establish a bond, and you have the right to tell me, hey, I'm not a flight risk, I am a flight risk, or anything like that. Is there anything you would want to tell me about that?
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
I understand. Okay.
Okay, this is where the guy just about annihilates him. He did a good job holding it together, in my opinion.
Well, the court is going to order a $2 million blanket bond in this case, covering all of your charges. Should you post bond in this case, the court will order that you be on pretrial services electronically monitored house arrest. Furthermore, the court will order that you will have no contact whatsoever, directly or indirectly through a third party, with
the kids.
You are not permitted to speak to them in any way, shape, or form. That includes electronic communications. You are not allowed to communicate through family members whatsoever. You understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you, sir.
Guys, I'm a bit shy to let you hear this, but here's something.
See, he did a good job not like sticking his big black boot right up the guy's rear end, don't you think? OMG. I mean, personally, I love hearing the anger in that magistrate or judge's voice. Like, this is such a small town. This is such a small little jail that he's being held in. Miami County Jail. I don't even know if they have their own jail. Let me check. It might like go to Montgomery County where Dayton is or something, because it's just like 20 minutes north of Dayton. What jail would someone be held in Tip City like Caleb Flynn? Yeah, he's booked at the Miami County Jail. And her autopsy was done on Tuesday. So that's why they were able to arrest him last night, because they had that complete. And I don't know if those autopsy results have been released to the public yet. Probably not. Paula Plunder, I'm sure, would have a video with the results of that as soon as possible. So, yeah, what else do I want to tell you about that? Where they lived, like a cul-de-sac, surrounded by cul-de-sacs. And, you know, he tried to pretend like it was a botched home burglary, which home burglaries don't happen in cul-de-sacs because people want to be able to escape easily, not with just like one way out that can be blocked. Also, it's February in Ohio. Do you know how often there are burglaries at night in February in Ohio? In cul-de-sacs. It doesn't happen. You don't get very many home burglaries at night, period. You don't get home burglaries in the middle of winter at night. And you don't get home burglaries on cul-de-sacs. 3 strikes and you're out, mofo. Oh, what a sick individual. So, you know, they have a nice brick house. Their house would be listed in, there's like this Huber Heights directory every Christmas of Christmas lights for people that want to like really do it up. And their house, I think, was listed this past year and the year before. That's a big deal, especially because they're like outside of Huber Heights. Really, the only reason I went to Tip City today was to get beef brisket for my family. And they sell the best beef brisket in the world there, right off of Interstate 75 at a place called Hickory River beef brisket. OMG. I went into a beef brisket coma. I almost couldn't do my live, and I'm not even kidding. I completely overdosed on this stuff. And their house is really, really close to the Hickory River. So yeah, a pretty nice neighborhood. Like I said, a real average neighborhood, but you know, I mean, I'm like white America privilege bullcrap. So it's a nice neighborhood. It's above average. I mean, when you compare it to everything, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like plain and basic as far as like suburbs go, but there are some newer houses right close to theirs that are like super cool. Their house is nice. I wouldn't mind living in their house, not in the least. Like I said, 3-car garage. nice backyard and everything, and really, really close neighbors too. So I'm sure he must have used a silencer. Otherwise, people would have been coming over saying, what's going on? Do you need help? And then right around the corner from where they live is where 2 schools that Ashley worked at. I think it's called the Tippecanoe Middle School, where she used to work full time. And then she's been a substitute more recently. And then this like Bible school is also right there. And they bus the kids from school campuses during school hours to do Bible studies. Like, I guess that's a way around the state laws or something. I mean, it's a really conservative area. And I was going to show you guys like a picture of the school bus because I was just kind of blown away by, it's called LifeWise. I'll get it close up to the screen to see if you can see it. So a big red school bus, almost looks like a fire truck, with back here is where it says LifeWise. And in the middle of the bus, it says Bible education during school hours, LifeWise Academy. So she was teaching right there at the LifeWise Academy. Sorry about the phone situation. And then the name of the church is Upper Room, a very prestigious looking, very new school building. You can't really see it too well. Again, the glare of the phone. I try to like dim the light so that you can see it, but the camera on the computer is so sensitive. So, that it just really whites out. Oh my goodness. Crazy dogs. So you know how Donnie Two Dolls has been trying to say that he didn't know this guy at all. The guy who just got arrested. Yeah. Okay, there's Donnie. How do I do this so that you can see Melania, his movie star wife, and then Prince Andrew? He's like, yeah, I didn't know him at all. Just like Leslie Wexner was like, yeah, I didn't know who, Jeffrey Epstein. I guess I've heard the name. I think he worked for me. I think he was my power of attorney, and I let him have access to every penny that I owned. Gazillions of pennies. Absolute gazillions. So, let's see. What did I want to show you guys? Oh my goodness. Sorry, let me set that down and just talk with you guys. Grab my notebook and stuff. I don't even think I've used my notebook at all. So yeah, how are you ladies? Granny Annie, Anna Bees. This case is so sad. So at 12:42, he texted, "It's almost done." His wife's last text on her phone to a friend were 3 words: I can't anymore. So Caleb Flynn had been a contestant in American Idol in 2013, and I think they got married in 2010. I think they met at like a Bible college in Tennessee called Lee University. And he's a couple of years older than her, but she graduated before him. So I don't know what that means, unless he was getting a master's degree or something. But I think they both just got their bachelor's degrees. I think I could be wrong about that. But in the interview for the American Idol, I think he's like, I'll put a link to it in the description. I think he's like interviewing with like local news about his experience with American Idol. But they ask him about his wife. And all he says about his wife, like, I think he's freaking brain dead. Seriously. If you're married to somebody this stupid, run for the freaking hills. I mean, sure, maybe he froze up because he was nervous, you know, and he just couldn't think. They asked him what he liked about his wife, and he said, this is the exact quote, I believe, "She's very, very pretty. I love my wife. She's very, very pretty." And then later he talks about how much he loves Carrie Underwood, I think, like his favorite American Idol star. And then he says, "My wife would look just like her if she was blonde. I'm surprised he didn't like dye her hair blonde while she was sleeping or something." Saving up money and affording a house is budgeting, not privileged, in my opinion. I worked my way up in business. Well, I imagine that you're white, dear. And I think it's so hard for us to wrap our minds around our white privilege. Like, honestly, Black people have trouble getting home loans still. And there's still banks and neighborhoods that just won't sell to Black people. So, yeah. And do you want to know something, Granny Annie? You want to know why saving for a house is so hard, even for us white folks? Is because Jeffrey Epstein and his home fries seriously effed with the prices of housing when they were laundering all their freaking money with all the houses nationwide. I just learned this in the last 48 hours. I mean, I knew they had everything to do with the economic collapse of 2007, and that had everything to do with the housing bubble. But they've continued to F up the American dream for real working people trying to save to buy a house. Like, the price of homes relative to your salary, you know, your average home nationwide probably is like $300,000. Your average income nationwide is probably $60,000. I'm just pulling numbers out of thin air, but I pay attention to this stuff, so it's probably right around there. I mean, we can ask Google what Google thinks. It probably gives a range. What is the average price of a home in America? Oh my God, 415,000. See, because we haven't bought a house for 10 years. We've been in this place for 10 years. 415 to 446,000. Late 2025 and early 2026, the median home sale price. Like, who could buy that? Who could effing buy that? Like, almost $500,000. Average prices for new homes exceeding $500,000. Prices vary significantly by state. Like Hawaii, over $1 million, California, close to $1 million, and lows in Iowa, 230,000, and Oklahoma, 245. Well, see, and I'm in Ohio, where it probably is about 300,000. Let me see. What is the average price of a home in Ohio? Because, yeah, I wasn't thinking about like New York and all those places. Washington, D.C. Oh, yeah, Ohio's only 234,000. Well, 225 to 248. So only $250,000. That's all. And then what's the national average income in America? Average is 66,000. Anyway, it used to be like back in the, let's say the 60s, a completely different ratio. So let's say your ratio is essentially, let's say 60,000, and then 7 times your salary is the price of your home. That'd be like 420,000. So 7 times. I think it was much, much lower. Like that the price of your home was probably going to be like 2 or 3 times what you made in a year. But let me see what this says. What was the average price of a home in America in the 60s? $25,000. In the 1960s, the average price of a home in the U.S. rose from about $12,000 to over double that by the end of the decade. And then what was the average income in the 60s in the United States? Or in the early 1960s, it was like $6,000 a year. So yeah, like half of what your home was worth. And then by the end of the 60s, it was like $9,000 a year. So then it was a lot less than half of what your home was worth. But now we're talking like your salary is like, your home is 7 times your salary. Like that's just effed up. And, you know, it's usually going to be more economically efficient to purchase a house. Renting is so expensive, so expensive. Finished road trip to Cabo and back with ex. Did well. Boundaries. Watch out for religious cheaters. Kinky fantasies. One woman can't meet their needs. In my experience, this mofo in Tip City, Caleb, reminds me a lot of JP Miller. A lot like JP Miller. So not only did he have this little rock star experience where he got pretty far in the American Idol. He got to Hollywood. He got one of the coveted golden tickets. I think they only have like 28 golden tickets for each season. And there's like probably a couple thousand people that are competing for those 28 tickets. So he got a golden ticket. He got to go to Hollywood, but then he was like cut immediately after that. So he didn't fulfill that fantasy of being a rock star. You know, he continued with his church music thing, which is great. But the other thing that he had a lot of skill and talent with was basketball. When he was in high school and his team went to state and he was the point guard, he was like, you know, basically the team captain because he was the starting point guard. So that person has more control over the plays and the game and everything than any other player, even if they're not the best player on the team. But usually you're going to make your best player on the team point guard. And if you're starting point guard, but he wasn't the high scorer. The high scorer was probably somebody really tall that would stay closer to the basket. Right. But he was probably more coordinated than the other one. Anyway, it just really reminds me of Al Bundy. I said Ted Bundy last night at one point when I was talking about, you know, from Married with Children and his like glory days of football in high school that he, you know, is just like constantly reliving. He went to state twice and they won like over 60 games in a row when he was on that basketball team. So he took his team to not took them to state. They won the state championship twice. He was in Minnesota. He was in a small town in Minnesota, not Ohio. She was from Tip City, Ohio. And then they both went to college in Tennessee. And then they met at college, and they didn't get married right away. So he graduated high school, I think, in about 06. He's turning 40. She probably graduated high school in about 04, and she was turning 38 in a couple of days. But now his arraignment is going to be a couple of days after her birthday. I think her birthday is the 24th of this month. So 4 days from now, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so I want to say it was about 2010 when they graduated, and she graduated a semester before him. Maybe they didn't get married in 2010, but I think they did. I think they did get married in 2010. So maybe they did get married right out of college. But maybe they got together at the beginning of college, because I thought they were together for like 5 years before they got married. They were married probably for about 5 years before they had kids, because their oldest is 11. Let's see. Annabise. Yeah, Annabise says, I think you're right about religious cheaters. I was going to say that. I have a black friend that had UPS job escrow officer, but California is different. Yeah, I mean, isn't that movie called The Red Line that Sidney Poitier got so famous for? I finally saw it a few years ago. Let's see. What's the movie Sidney Poitier got very famous for about the thin red line in the black housing market? I want to say it's called The Thin Red Line. Like they called it redlining. A Raisin in the Sun. That's the name of the movie, 1961. So they called it The Thin Red Line. But yeah, A Raisin in the Sun, 1961. I think he won a Academy Award for that. But I had never seen it. I saw it probably after the George Floyd incident happened. And yeah, I didn't know. I did not know. An escrow officer, my white loan officers had a variety of nationalities, same fees on all. They screw over their own race. Insane. Hispanic and Oriental off to Vegas with 20K commissions. Yeah, man, it's big money, but really good for laundering money. You buy a house with cash, and then your money's clean basically when you sell the house. Good evening, Painted Desert. Hello, my dear. I bought my home cash. There you go. Were you laundering the money? I bought my home cash in 2020. 200,000 now. It's worth 350. I'm in Texas, California. Realtors buying all the real estate messed it all up. My neighbors rent for $2,500, right? And if you're paying a mortgage of $2,500, it's like you're putting that money in the bank, and you basically are going to get it all back when you sell your home, if you sell your home. But yeah, we purchased this house. We've been here for over 10 years now, I think. So 2016. And yeah, it was in that price range too. And same, it was in the same price range when we purchased it, and it's worth the same price range now. And that's just 10 years. I mean, it's horrible if you can't purchase and you have to rent, because you're just pissing your money away. Although when we finally owned our first home back in Seattle, I would always joke, like if something broke, like, you know, the water heater, the washing machine, I'd be like, oh, call the landlord. Because, yeah, you got to have money for that crap. San Jose, California, 1,100 square foot home, 1.1. My daughter 4 years ago needed work sick. Yeah, 1.1 million, I would imagine, is what you were saying. And 1,100 square feet is pretty small for a house by our white people standards, right? I mean, in other cultures, families share rooms that are like 100 square feet. So, painted, yes, although my daughter's buyers were Middle Eastern doctors, never moved in. Huh. Well, were they really? Or was that just, you know, some launderers, basically? I heard 2 days before little E passed away, or not, faked his death, he put over 500 million in a trust account to Bill Barr. Name the trust. 1955, E's date of birth. Yeah, I think it's 1953 painted. The trust is called 1953 because that's his date of birth. And it was like 55 million, but he literally had billions in offshore accounts. That was just his liquid assets, the 55 plus 550 plus million. And I think a lot of it, like he redid his will 2 days before he was either Epsteined or he was Epsteined, whatever Epstein means, unalived or faked unalived. So I think he gave a lot of it to his most recent girlfriend, the dentist. And oh my God, you guys, I did not want to share with you, but I did want to share with you what that effing dentist chair might have been for on Epstein Island. And this is like major freaking trigger warning. So you might just want to turn to another channel. Allegedly, the dental chair was not, I mean, I'm sure they cleaned people's teeth and whitened people's teeth and I don't know, maybe even took care of a cavity or something, but it is so gross. These people are so depraved. Allegedly, they pulled the teeth of the girls so that they couldn't bite, you know. I'm sorry. Like I said, I heard that a couple of days ago and I've been wanting to share it with you. And I also did not want to repeat it because I would only imagine that it's true with all of the depths of depravity that we cannot even comprehend. These people are so disgusting. Think about the 3 million pages of the Trumpstein files that have been like deep sixed, that have just been lost, officially lost. So in the 3 million that they released, there's some of the most heinous crimes you could ever freaking imagine. Getting an 11-year-old pregnant on purpose, forcing her to have your baby, taking young mothers' babies, snatching them away from them and never letting them see them, unaliving babies, and we won't even talk about the rest of what allegedly was done to women, boys, girls, babies. I mean, the stuff that they did to minors, if they were doing it to adults, it was still illegal. It was still depraved. They all need to be outed. And then for Les Wex to pretend that he barely knew little E, he drew little E a picture of breasts for his birthday freaking card. Boobs. He was the one who wrote, I wanted to get you what you wanted for your birthday, so here it is. And he drew boobs. You know, kind of like Biggly Piggly drawing the torso of what looks like a very young, slender female. No head, no arms, no legs, just a torso. Absolutely disgusting. And again, it just blows me away that people don't focus on that. People focus on it being a young woman's body and his signed name, the freaking pubic hair. It's like, it's not a young woman's body. It's a part of a body. It's missing all the limbs and is decapitated. I think that's extraordinarily significant. So for Les Wex to say he barely knew little E, to me, that just like seals the deal that they were lovers. I mean, that's the way I see it. But no, you're not going to give someone power of attorney and access to your $1 billion fortune when they're just an employee. And you're not going to draw an employee boobs on their birthday card, are you? Why didn't he draw him a Wang package, right? So yeah, he gave money to the girlfriend. He gave most of his assets to the girlfriend, I thought. And then a big stash to an accountant and a big stash to a lawyer. But yeah, he could well be alive. He could well be alive. And yeah, people are starting to talk more about Virginia Giuffre being red-rummed, which that needs to be looked into. That whole thing with the school bus hitting her and the Instagram post with all the bruising, and I'm going to be dead in 4 years, 4 days. Sorry. As soon as I saw that, I basically thought it was like a hostage video. I was like, oh, they have her in captivity and they're making her write that. And then, you know, all of the allegations of domestic violence against her husband, which could be true, but I have no reason to believe that it is. I have more reason to believe that that was part of the cover. Yeah. But yeah, William Barr is a piece of crap. He is just as bad as the other guy who I always get confused with, the one, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon and William Barr are both like human mucus, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion. And it was on Have I Got News for You US, when they showed a picture of Steve Bannon and called him a human piece of mucinex, I think was how they phrased it. A human chunk of mucinex. Remember those commercials with the mucinex people? They're just so disgusting. And they're so cut from the same cloth. Barr and Bannon. Oh, they're gross. And I'm sure they both did the exact same heinous crap that Alan Dershowitz and Jeffrey Epstein and Biggly Piggly and Prince Andrew and all these other mofos did. You know, they try to scapegoat Epstein. Like, oh, yeah, he's the bad guy. You got him. And same with Ghislaine. I mean, I'm not saying anything to give them any, you know, treat them with kid gloves. I mean, no, put them out to pasture, but don't forget their friends that they were servicing, especially ones that were in positions of power, like prime ministers and sheiks and princes. That photograph that they caught of Prince Andrew when he got arrested. Have you seen that photo that's gone viral? I'm sure you've seen it. He looks like he's a corpse. Viral Prince Andrew arrest video picture. Damn. Yeah, let's see. I saw a video of the guy who took the picture. You guys have seen this, haven't you? OMG. That does not even look like him. I seriously think that they might have already unalived him, or he knows his life is over, basically. When I first saw that, I was like, who is that? Who is that guy in the car? And he almost looks like he's laying down too. Like he really looks not alive, in my opinion. Let's see, what did I miss from Painted Desert? 1 second. Interesting. Painted Desert. I didn't know about this case. It's horrible. Glad they got him. And they got him so freaking fast. I'm so glad they got that guy off the street so freaking fast. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they had him off the streets instantaneously, that they put him in a psychiatric hold. You know, just based off of his 911 call. They're like, okay, you're Looney Tunes. You're going into a psych hospital right now. I think it is very significant. Did you see where Prince Andrew tortured and off, I think, a 6-year-old? How could they let him bond out? No, dang it, Nancy. Oh, but hello. I did not see that. But yeah, they all did the most horrible things. Again, think of the 3 million pages that we're never going to see. And then think of the 50 to 100 million more that they're like, oh, look what we have. Like 50 terabytes, could be up to 100 million more pages. And then we're not even talking about the photographs and the videos. We're just talking about the freaking emails and crap. And it's so ironic that Biggly Piggly doesn't email, and this is probably why. But he's still mentioned over 1 million times in just the 3 million pages that have been seen. And he keeps saying, I've been completely exonerated. You cannot be exonerated until you're convicted. You have to be convicted in order to then be exonerated. So the fact that he keeps saying that he's exonerated is, to me, like a Freudian slip. Oh, like the guy, Caleb Flynn, at one point in that 911 call, I meant to stop it when he said, the killer's in the house. He's in the house. It's just like, yeah, dude. He literally said that. He's in the house. I won't play it for you again. It's so cringe. Good evening. Oh, or give him the biggest home in Manhattan. Yeah. Leslie Wexner, it's sometimes said that he sold Epstein that mansion for $1. And it's also said that he just gave it to him for free. And I think it's also been said that he sold it to him for like $100. Like, I mean, he gave it to him for free. He also, you know, he wouldn't have Lolita Express. He wouldn't have the island. He wouldn't have Zora Ranch. He wouldn't have any of that. He wouldn't have had a lot of the connections that he had were all through Les Wex. Les Wex is like, I met him once, sometime in the 80s. It was no big deal. And then like a year later, I gave him the keys to my kingdom and said, you're hired. And then I hardly ever saw him when he was having the keys to my kingdom. And he doesn't admit at all that Jeffrey introduced him to his wife, Abigail. So Abigail, I think she's 66 right now. So that would make her 22 years younger than the old geezer. Man, did he look so bad and so evil. He looks like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Leslie Wexner does. How old is Abigail Wexner? 64 years old. So she was born in 62. She's not that much older than me. She's only 6 years older than me. That'd be like me being married to that 88-year-old man. I mean, come on. Wow. Is this her back then? Oh my goodness, she was really pretty. This might be her now. I bet this is her now. I thought she was like an old lady, but she's only 64. Oh my God. That can't be her. This is her. Look, she's a honeypot. She is a honeypot. Look at that. I thought she was more of like an average, normal looking girl. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. I guess I'd never really seen pictures of her or anything. Man, let's see. Current pictures of Abigail Wexner. Yep, those are current pictures of her. Here's one of her and him. Oh, God. Can you see it? I mean, it just, no, that's not a real couple. I mean, she's like his daughter. So it looks like she's got everything to do with like the children's hospital in Columbus. So I won't apply for a job there. Dang. I had no idea she was so young and pretty. No idea. She's a knockout. Look at this. Do you see that? She looks like a model. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. And it's not telling me how long my video is, and I have no idea. Oh no, it says it up here now. It used to say it over on the left. They moved it over to the right. I hate the way they update crap all the time. So we've been on for an hour and 20 almost. Let's see. Give him the biggest home in Manhattan. Good evening, Annabese. I watch this guy, Conspiracy Files. He dedicates so much of his time to bring awareness to children. Oh, and Aaron Parnas just got named to do like to be like the kickoff speaker addressing exploitation of children this summer in DC in June. What is that? He put up a post. He's really proud of it. Aaron Parnas, Washington, D.C., June. exploitation awareness. Washington, D.C. conference for ending children exploitation in June. See what it's called. Oh, I didn't look it up right. It's not telling me nothing. Will it? It doesn't understand. Let me just look at Aaron Parnas's post. That'll be an easier way to do it. Aaron Parnas. That's quite a feather in his cap. The post. It is the honor of a lifetime to announce that I will be giving a keynote address at the annual World Without Exploitation Conference this summer. Being asked to do this by an organization that has been at the forefront of getting justice for survivors of abuse and exploitation is truly humbling. Well, he really deserves it. 10 hours ago, he posted this. I read through the entire 175-page Supreme Court tariff decision, and let me tell you, the way it is written is the worst possible outcome for Trump. It's going to undo most of his trade deals, and there are no backup plans he can execute. Well, I know that Costco kind of spearheaded that too. And on one level, they filed a lawsuit a few months ago to get all the money back from Trump. And it was funny because my husband and I were shopping at Costco and we spent like $350 and we didn't buy that much. And I was just like, ouch, like I was just blown away. And as we're walking literally from the cash register to the car, I even said something to the guy at the door that like checks your receipt. I was just like, damn, I think I said, damn those tariffs. And I was talking to my husband like, man, it's got to be the tariffs are killing us. We get in the car and on the news radio, they talk about, this was a couple of months ago, how Costco had just filed that lawsuit against Trump to get back all the money for all the tariffs because it ruined their business. It's ruined all of these big companies' businesses. I mean, because, I mean, we're lucky that we can go in there and buy the same stuff that we normally buy for like $200 and pay over $300 for it. Whereas most people are going to have to stick with their $200 and just buy less, you know? I mean, overtime when you're law enforcement is very helpful. So, not that I'm law enforcement, but I do get the overtime. That's how we do it on single salary, basically. The overtime is amazing. But, yeah. I haven't seen that part about the former prince. I haven't seen it. Yeah, that doesn't look like him. Yeah, it looks like a corpse of him. But my white loan broker had normal commissions of 1 to 2.5K. They're all compromised. Biden, Kamala, Obama, her husband, Michael. I've lost faith completely in the political and judicial beast system. I get it, Nancy. I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'm in agreement with that. And I don't think that they're all as depraved as the beef jerky eating bull crap, you know? I mean, I could be wrong about that, but that's my opinion. I mean, I know that it gets pretty twisted when you're the 1%, it's pretty twisted. Like, I wouldn't want to be there. Who's that? Dang it, Nancy. The picture that I held up of Prince Andrew that went viral yesterday, that a photographer, he said he traveled like 5 hours to get there, and he just happened to be able to snap that picture, and he was very pleased with his handiwork. She's not bought and paid for. She's not bought and paid for. You mean, what's this job going to do to us? Oh, LOL. Oh, if I was working full time, yeah, I know, because I don't think I'll ever get a job again where I'll be able to make my videos while I'm there. So if anybody feels like making a donation, I've got my Cash Apps. What do I have? And I wanted to put a link in my description to the GoFundMe account for the girls, the daughters of Ashley Flynn. None of the money in the GoFundMe account will the unaliver be able to get his paws on. So those poor girls, they're going to need lifetimes of therapy. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I can't wrap my mind around doing anything that's going to take me away from this, Annabise, because this is really important to me. This is my jam. This is like what I live for. So don't you worry. We'll figure it out one way or another. And like I said, we're doing fine because my husband can just work more overtime. It's not his favorite thing, but it works. So, and it's good because, I mean, I was able to get the dog to all of her cancer treatment. I've been able to, I had to run my daughter to urgent care tonight because she thought she broke her toe. If I was working full time, like he is, those things wouldn't get done. I mean, they can't do themselves. So, yeah, my puppy dogs need me. My family needs me, and you're my family, right? So don't worry. I'm just as addicted to my YouTube as anybody might be to my channel. And thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I know I'm not like the most, I don't pop my information. I don't like explode with all of the bells and whistles. I like to just like kind of keep it mellow, and sometimes I hit things right on the head and sometimes I don't, and that's okay. We're here to figure it out, and that's what's important. Like I said, I was feeling sick all day from this crap with I mean, I think I feel sick all the time over the government crap, and then it helps me to talk about. And then today, just feeling absolutely overwhelmed, like I could just cry about Ashley Flynn and her daughters. And that was before I knew about the chloroform. I immediately, when I got just like the skeletal of this case, I just got ChrisWatts vibes. Maybe because it was two girls, and it was two girls with Shanann, and then me and my sister, two girls. So, like my antennas are up, like I'm hyper vigilant and hyper aware of things like that. But when if you have a side piece and you want to off your spouse so that you can have your sexcapades, if you have two little girls that are like in complete mourning for their mother, it's going to like dampen your sexcapades ability, isn't it? So much better to have a clean slate in the mind of a psycho, which you know what? There's plenty of guys who clean their slate to go run off with their side piece that don't go taking lives. I mean, some people probably feel like their heart's ripped out and their life was taken psychologically, being abandoned like that. kids being abandoned like that. I mean, even Gene Hackman did that to his kids and his wife. He left them all for the woman that was murdered by the mouse. Sorry, but not sorry. Les Wex's wife. I was being sarcastic. See, that's the problem with text and with chat. I know I was being sarcastic in a chat a couple of days ago, and somebody was like freaking out on me, and I was like, I was being sarcastic. Yeah, there's no way to know that. Like, I thought maybe it was a typo when you said she's not bought and paid for. I was like, maybe she meant to type she's bought and paid for. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea she was that young and that hot. I mean, she looks great, right? For 60, was it 64? Yeah, 64 years old. I mean, she looks fantastic. She's probably had some work done too, you know. She can afford it. Her husband owns all the hospitals, right? He probably owns all the surgeons. Yes, we need you. Oh, Annabes. Wow, then he looks gone. Hopefully, remind me of the picture of Virginia. Oh, the picture where she's all beat up. Well, right, because he has the dirt on everybody. So yesterday, when he was arrested, our dear leader said, you know, this is horrible for him and he shouldn't be treated like this. And it's just sad. This is awful. And it was very reminiscent of when Ghislaine was arrested. And he was like, oh, I just wish her well. And he's scared of these people. He's scared of Ghislaine, who I think is gone. And he's scared of Prince Andrew because they could destroy him. What they have seen, probably, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly, with their own eyes. I mean, again, just think of the million times his name is in the 3 million files. That's only maybe 2% of the files. And that's the stuff that was tame to show the public. What's in those other files? I'll just say it. They kept the kids in cages and they shipped them off and they bought and sold and trade and they took their freaking teeth out. This is real. This is not conspiracy theory. This is what they did. It's just so unthinkable that none of us want to think about it or say it or talk about it. We can't wrap our minds around it. We want to pretend it's not true. We want to pretend that that's just like crazy talk. Just put me in a straitjacket. No, this is what these mofos did and are still doing. It's still happening. And Mar-a-Lago is one of the places that's central to it all. It's awful. It's awful. Let's try to talk about something lighter. I mean, it's like sometimes I want to just say it. I just want to spit it out. But then it's like, my God, like, seriously, like, we need some comedy. We need some lightness. We need some hope. We need some joy. Like, that's just too much. But so much of what we see in our news media is sanitized. It's cleaned with bleach before we see it. And a lot of that is because this stuff is too disgusting. It's too disgusting to think about a guy who's going to let his children die in the next room while he's trying to confuse the police about the garage door being open. And then he's trying to use those kids as an excuse to get out on bail. That's not going to be focused on too much, I don't think. But it should be. It should be. Like, the truth hurts, but you got to deal with it, man. because this mofo in Tip City isn't the only one. ChrisWatts isn't the only one. Scott Peterson is not the only one. Jeffrey Epstein is not the only one. Ghislaine Maxwell is not the only one. Let's talk a little bit about Erica Kirk before we wrap up. Sabby Sabs. Do you guys know that channel? She's really good. I didn't watch her for the longest time. She would show up in my feed, and I'm like, it's kind of a weird name of a channel. I'm not going to watch it. And then when I finally watched it, I'm like, damn, I wasn't doing myself any favors, was I? So she dropped a video today about Erica Kirk's family ties, and she's like a freaking Sopranos mobster. That's what our president is, and that's what Erica Kirk is. And she's got ties to that freaking Utah College University, Valley University in Utah, where Charlie Kirk was pew-pewed. She's got ties there. Of course, you have to have ties to a place like that to use it as a stage for your thing. You don't just go do that anywhere. You got to know people and pull strings. Unbelievable. That Sabby Sabs video she dropped earlier today is really good. I love and admire you, Jazz. Oh, you've been such an inspiration in my life. I think I speak for all of us. Dang it, Nancy, you're so sweet. I could just cry. Thank you, my dear. Well, I try to keep it real. It's really hard. Seriously. But it's great. It's great to keep it real. It's great just to be yourself. That's, when I'm at the end of my videos, when I'm like, drink your water, eat your protein. Forget everything I said. Just be yourself. That's it. That's all we need to focus on. Doesn't matter about exercise and sleep. Just being you is what's important. But yeah, of course, you need your exercise and your sleep and your water and your protein. But don't put yourself into a coma with beef brisket, man. That's one of my comfort foods. My grandmother made the best beef brisket on planet Earth. And that Hickory River up there in Tip City is one of the 2 places that I have ever found that can compete with my grandmother's beef brisket. And the other one is here in Ohio too. My grandmother was from Ohio. So I guess something about Ohio and the brisket, baby. I don't know. But thank you. Dang it, Nancy. That's the sweetest thing that you could possibly say. Let's do the heart. So yeah, I was trying to figure out that weird heart that the kids do these days. And I wasn't getting it. My daughter does it. I'll have to ask her I'm going to see her tomorrow. She's going to introduce me to her new boyfriend. She's all serious with her new boyfriend. I'm so excited to meet him. The rest of the family already got to meet him, but I had to take care of the dogs, so I didn't get to yet. And I told her, tell him I already think he's super smart. I already think he's great. He's got really good taste. I know that I like him without even meeting him. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. And then I'll have to remember to ask her to show me how to do that heart thing, because I just do the old school one. I think Jizz is gone too. I know. I totally think that they offed her in the transition. And I can't believe it took us so long to think of it. It took me so long to think of it. And the day that I thought of it was just 3 or 4 days ago. And I was like, how could I be so stupid? And then I'm like, not to insult myself or anybody else, but I'm like, how could all of us be so stupid? And then I'm like, oh yeah, we're busy trying to ungaslight ourselves over here and over here. We're trying to live our lives. We're trying to pay our bills. We're trying to keep up with the Joneses. No, I'm just kidding. Just trying to keep up with ourselves, right? And it's been quite a day for me, because I didn't really have time to go to Hickory River or to go leave flowers in Tip City, but it was important to me, and I did. And it's just been a really busy day. Like I said, my daughter stubbed her toe so bad she thought she broke it. And what else? Almost going into a coma from beef brisket. With the braces, I literally survive off of mostly a liquid diet. And, I try to eat solid food at least twice a day. But sometimes I probably only eat solid food once a day because it's such a hassle to like take the wax out and then eat and then clean my teeth and then put the wax back on. So yeah, I think it was just a lot of, I'm like a little baby. It was just a lot of solids for my system. I think I need to do my yoga now. Oh, and I didn't go for a walk today because it was freaking cold and windy after that storm last night. We had all this great weather. Yesterday, I went for a walk. It was 63 degrees, and I was wearing a tank top, and I was hot. That's what I'm talking about. But thanks so much, you guys. I love yous. Yeah, she looks great. I'm 3 years younger, and I don't look like that. Well, when you got all that money, honey, and when you don't have to work, right? Yes, you do, Nancy. Prince Harry and his fake pregnancy wife are next. Did you see the picture one of the survivors painted of the island? Very interesting. No, dang it, Nancy, but I will warn you and me and all of us that there's a lot of fake videos. And I saw one yesterday that had, I think, a lot of fake art because they were saying that it was Annie Farmer's art. And Annie Farmer has a very distinctive style. It's kind of childlike and it's almost cartoonish. And it's really good. I mean, she's a very accomplished artist, but she has a very, very, I think, a pretty narrow style that she doesn't branch out from much. Did I say Annie Farmer? Maria Farmer, the sister, the older sister. She was a very accomplished artist, and she's the one that was entrapped at Leslie Wexner's mansion in New Albany. She was told, like, she got a commission job through Jeffrey and Jiz to go to the New Albany home to paint for 3 months, I think it was, and her paintings were in that movie As Good as It Gets. And let me see if I can pull them up. And so she was there for the summer, and then Jiz and Jeffrey came to visit her, and they assaulted her together, and she fought them off, and she pushed all the furniture up to the door. As soon as she got there, she was told she wasn't allowed to go outside without permission from Abigail, from Leslie Wexner's wife, and that if she went outside, there were literally hound dogs that would chew her up, like Burns in The Simpsons, Release the Hounds. So she was entrapped there. And then when they came and assaulted her together, and it's amazing that she was able to fight them off and then push all this like big furniture up against the door. And then somehow she escaped and got to the guard. She called her parents. This is all right outside Columbus, Ohio. And her parents, I think, lived in Kentucky, which is a couple hours away at least. And she was able to hang out with the guards while her family was coming to rescue her. And Leslie Wexner was asked about that in his deposition the day before yesterday. And he's like, I don't even know who she is. I didn't know she was on my property. I don't know anything. Like, he's a effing liar, lying sack of shit. He's a lying liar. And he's like playing this old man card. And did you catch the part where his lawyer whispered in his ear, if you answer another question with more than 5 words, I'm going to effing kill you? Did you guys catch that? There's a lot of people talking about it online. What was I looking up? Maria Farmer's artwork from As Good as It Gets. Maria Farmer's artwork from As Good as It Gets. From the movie. The movie. Let's see if it gives us some images. In 1996, our artist Maria Farmer was commissioned to create 2 original artworks for the film set As Good as It Gets. While living in New York, she was offered space to produce this work at a guest home on Les Wexner's property in Ohio, which she transported there in a rental truck. Key details regarding the artwork. Farmer was hired to create art for the As Good as It Gets movie set. She produced the art in 96, utilizing a space on the Leslie Wexner property in New Albany, New York. The commission occurred around the same time she was involved with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, having previously sold a different painting that referenced Edgar Degas' interior. And I can show you that artwork. It's like a woman laying on a bed, like a chaise lounge, and a guy who's mostly naked in the doorway, like walking towards her in his boxer shorts, maybe. Let's see. Maria Farmer's artwork that Jeffrey Epstein purchased. Oh, it didn't spell her name right. I bet it'll show it. There's some others here that are worth showing too. She did a lot of really cool artwork about her healing. I have not seen this one. I think this is, one of hers. Can you see that? It's like a girl laying in a bed with a really sad look on her face. Oh man, she's doing a lot of really amazing artwork. I bet she's really inspired with all this horrible stuff. A little kid with a Raggedy Ann doll on a bed. That little kid looks like she's 6. Okay, this is the one that I was talking about. This was when I think she was in graduate school earning her degree in painting, and Jeffrey bought this one from her for an outrageous price. And then that was the start of him hiring her to be one of his assistants. And what does it say here? A painting by Maria Farmer that she says Epstein bought from her thesis show at the New York Academy of Art. And, I could do a whole video on the New York Academy of Art because he donated a lot of money to them. And they pretty much served up kids to him. Oh my God. Is this one of her newer ones? Maria Farmer labeled Leslie Wexner the head of the snake in a famous painting. She's just going to town. I think this is one of her newer ones. So an old guy in a business suit with a very, very young kid and his hand over her mouth. And it looks like Virginia Giuffre, a very young Virginia Giuffre. Oh my God. I think this is hers. Are you ready? I might get shut down off of YouTube for this one. The guy's got no pants. He's wearing a dunce cap. And he's got the smallest package you've ever seen in your life. Oh man, she is just killing it. A painting Maria Farmer made during the alumni trip to New Mexico and gave to Epstein. Damn. Wait till you see this. because it's so good and it's so tragic. So this is one that she did when she was still probably thinking things were like okay. So it's this young girl in a like a bathing suit or blue leotard and black like whore boots up to her knees, above her, like thigh high whore boots. But this girl looks like she's 11, maybe 12. Sorry, my glare is so bad. Do you see that? Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Her sense of color is just outrageous. And remember, Maria Farmer has had cancer 3 times. She believes that she got cancer from all this crap dealing with her whole life. And she's beat it 3 times, but I think she's still in the process of beating it the 3rd time. And she spent 24 years in North Carolina hiding out, changed her name, made no art, and just worked at a museum as a curator just to try to stay safe. 24 years. I want to show you some more of this. I really need to figure out how to use CapCut, don't I? I'm going to start figuring that out, I promise. I know I've said that before, but I want to show you these. Her work will inspire me because this is a lot more work than I've ever seen of hers on the internet. Like, it's exploded, and that's fantastic. Let's see. She did this really big one. It's right here. It's huge. It's like probably like 4 feet tall and 10 feet long. And it has like all these scenes. It's kind of like a montage of like I think that's an alien ship right there. You can make out that flying saucer up in the corner right there, that black. And it's kind of like the island, the East Pito Island and the New Mexico ranch and the aliens. Oh my goodness. And there's all these underground tunnels. Do you see all those underground tunnels? And the people are like snakes in the underground tunnels. She's freaking brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. And Ghislaine is there in the middle, like the middle, if you can see, it's like a womb with like a baby or a dragon. It's got Ghislaine's head. You can see the black hair. And then below it is like the penis that's, impregnating the womb. And it's got Jeffrey's head right there. Okay, we're all going to need some therapy now, huh? I'm so glad I looked up this stuff. Is that? No, that's a different artist. That's good, though. Let me show you this other one. Okay, I've shown this one to you. This is not one that Maria did. This is one that her friend did, that she brokered a deal for Jeffrey to purchase. And these little girls are lined up like it's a beauty pageant in their bathing suits. And like the little one here looks like she's maybe 5 or 6 at the oldest. And, none of the girls look like they're older than like 8 or 9. And it kind of looks more like a photograph than a painting. That's one of the spookiest. That one just killed me when I saw that. Oh my goodness. Let me show you this Maria Farmer oil painting. Why is it not working? Something about the Raggedy Ann dolls. Oh, that's just so sad. I have a Raggedy Ann doll. So there's a little boy up here in a bath, a little girl, it looks like, and then there's the mirror. Oh, so the little boy is behind her. He would be like out of the picture over here because that's his reflection in the mirror. She's got her hands on the mirror. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But what was the last one I was going to show you? This one that's not Maria Farmer, but another survivor. And it kind of reminds me of like Frida Kahlo. You know, everybody knows Frida Kahlo, right? She's an incredible artist. So like this big red bloody rose. It's like her pregnant belly. That's a cool image. Anyway, I think that's enough of all of that. What did I was trying to show you some of so that big painting that I showed you that was like 4 feet tall and 10 feet wide. This is just like a little subsection of it. And like you can see like a TV. It kind of looks like Clinton might be on that TV. Ooh, and it says something about the Guggenheim. Oh, you know, Virginia Giuffre went to the Guggenheim. She was taken there with Epstein and Jiz when she was younger. And then she went there as an adult. When she was over there in the UK to do a deposition or something about Andrew, who is not a prince. And so she went to the Guggenheim by herself. No, not the Guggenheim. The Guggenheim is in New York. I think she went to the Louvre so sorry, I got my wires crossed. So when she was in London, she went to the Louvre and she was completely triggered by the artwork that she saw there. It was in her book. It was just profound. So here, standing on top of this mushroom with this blonde, weird wave of hair in a suit, and he's not wearing a red tie, but he might as well be. The guy standing on the mushroom, even in my phone with all that glare, you can tell who that is with that hair, huh? Oh, and the whole thing about mushroom penis. I was thinking like hallucinogenic mushrooms. Okay, I got to put that down now. That's a little much. Now we're like way over 2 hours probably. No, we're just hitting 2 hours. Sorry, you guys. I shouldn't apologize. I mean, I just melted my brain. Did I melt your brains too? Her art is so freaking profound. And she's so profound. I mean, Maria Farmer made that report to the authorities and to the FBI in 96. And then she was told that they had no record of it. And then that was in like the very first little micro batch of files that was dropped a couple months ago. Do you remember her and her sister, Annie Farmer, were so emotional over that? Just having that little report that like she was completely harassed and told she was crazy and that it never happened. And how many years ago was that? That was 30 effing years ago. Like, screw these people. 30 years and 100 million pages of this shit. Like you said, dang it, Nancy, they're all freaking evil. Like every single person involved in these fake investigations needs to go down. Like they're all part of the cover up. And you know what? I do think that they're all going to go down, like worldwide. I really do. I think that Prince Andrew is not Prince Andrew is the start of that. And I think that they see the writing on the wall. I think that everybody sees the writing on the wall, whether they're the president of the United States of America or just Joe Blow off the street. That is the beginning of the end of this crap. There's a lot of hope right now, I think. The fake pregnancy wife are next. Did you see the picture or one of the survivors painted on the island? Very interesting. So dang it, Nancy, you got me all like with your wonderful comment. So Prince Harry and his fake pregnancy wife are next. Did you see the picture one of the survivors painted of the island? Very interesting. So I don't know which one you're talking about in particular, but if you want to email it to me, my email is JusticeAtooZ@gmail.com. Did you see Bailey Syrian's last video? I totally get how she feels. I did see it, Anna Bees. And I don't watch her that often. As much as I love her, I'm watching all this political crap. And hers was political, so it showed up in my feed. And yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's Bailey Syrian just melting down. Like, what are we going to do? Like, our democracy's dead and they're putting people in gulags and we're next. What are we going to do? I saw one of her videos. Yes, I could see it. She is really good. Wow, she's great. The Louvre. Thank you. Did I say it wrong? Or was it when I was saying Guggenheim? Because, yeah, isn't Guggenheim in New York? I haven't been to it, so I don't know. I've been to all of the art museums in DC and Seattle and Los Angeles. I don't think I've been to the museums in San Francisco, though. I was too busy being in graduate school and then unwinding on the weekends with like skiing in Tahoe or something like that. We would go boogie boarding or try to surf. My husband would surf. We would get like into extreme sports on the weekends to unwind from all the hard work during the week. The Louvre. Yes, you can. So Guggenheim. Where is the Guggenheim? Oh, that's in Spain. Okay. I'm glad I looked that up because there's a big difference between Spain and New York. And wait. No, there is one in New York. Okay. So I'm not that stupid. Okay. And it's designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. We have a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright here in Ohio. I love Frank Lloyd Wright. Upper East Side of Manhattan. Okay, so then the other Guggenheim location is in Spain and one in Italy and one in Dubai. Well, this is good to know, huh? Good, we're all getting educated. I actually took art history postgraduate. And it was really hard, and I tried to memorize everything. So that was great to learn art history because that's some pretty hardcore stuff. And then I had kids and I forgot it all. So, so Heather Cox Richardson, I've been watching her a lot. I highly recommend her. I'll put a link in the description to one of her most recent that was very inspiring. I think it was from last night. It might have been from this morning. I think it was yesterday's. Just very inspiring, talking about the beginning of the end or the end of this nightmare that has been destroying our democracy. And Heather Cox Richardson is an American history expert. So she doesn't know that much about history outside of our country, but she knows everything about the history of our country. And she's just great to listen to. She's really smart. I heard somebody she was interviewing today who described her as she's listening to her helps us all sleep at night in these difficult, trying times. So, all right, my darlings, I am going to sign off. We are at 2 hours, and I try not to make my videos too long because I do like to try to review them. And when they're 2 hours, it's like, I don't know. And I honestly haven't been able to review them lately, and it kind of drives me nuts. It's really good if I can review them, because then I can make sure I get all the links in the description that I say I'm going to put in there, and I can correct myself. I can catch myself when I say something like Ted Bundy when I'm actually talking about Al Bundy from Married with Children. You know, those types of things. Heather is very smart. Well, and she doesn't wear any makeup, which I love. I mean, I wear a tiny bit of makeup. I told you guys my little beauty secret. Where is it? I do a little bit of eyeliner, and I am sharing this stuff just because it's the coolest stuff. It's got a creepy name. It's called Baby Skin. It's by Maybelline. And it's just like the texture of Vaseline. And I don't use it except when I'm going on screen, because it kind of like takes the shine off of your face. What is it called? It's called like a light diffuser, basically. So I use that. I use a little bit of like lip stuff. I use a tiny bit of eyeliner, and that's it. I hate makeup. Or I don't hate it. It's just, I lose everything all the time. I have trouble keeping track of that stuff. And even if I have it in my purse, I lose it. If I have it like in my little vanity, I lose it. I lose everything all the time. Story of my life. Like when I lost my mic and was trying to do the freaking headphones. Drop the F-bomb. Good night, everyone. Love you. Thank you. And yeah, I hope everyone has a really good night's sleep. Probably, I don't want to say I'm not going to do a video tomorrow night, because I might have to, but I might not get to it until Sunday. So, because I'm going to be going to Cincinnati tomorrow to meet the boyfriend. So, I love Cincinnati. I love going to the big cities. I'm a little country mouse. I'd like being a city mouse for a minute here and there. I've been a city mouse at times, but I've been a country mouse these days. So peace out. And yeah, just keep your eye on the prize, which is truth and justice and taking care of ourselves. Like, I think the taking care of ourselves is the most important, because this shit is toxic. So I think we need to be careful and take breaks, right? So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and see you soon. Have a great weekend.